think it's about that time. Let's go. Oh yeah. It's been about it's actually been 30 days. 30 days since we last popped in on y'all. As far as wrestling goes. It feels good to be up on it, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who we are, allow me to introduce myself. I am your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black, live in the building once again. And over there, possibly kidnapped by Legado del Fantasmo, is my man, my main man, Big up effing Sinners in the building. How you doing today, sir? He's the White Rabbit. He's the White Rabbit. God damn it. We figured it out. We figured it out. Stop the presses. Stop the presses.
What up?
Yeah. Oh, man. We done figured out the White Rabbit, ladies and gentlemen.
I figured you get a kick out of that one.
That's right. The mystery is over, y'all. We don't need to call Sherlock Holmes and none of them.
No QR codes needed. Okay.
No QR codes needed. Big Sin is the White Rabbit. We figured it out. So there's that. Yo, so we have a lot to talk about, sir. Wrestling is no longer a safe place, okay?
Joe Gacy's plan failed.
Okay. At this point, no, it has won and failed at the same time. Okay, that's what happened. That is what
when the corner parking lot on Lake Mead and Martin Luther King here in Vegas is safer than the AEW locker room. There's a problem.
Or the NXT parking lot. There's a huge problem. You're not safe anywhere. Okay, in pro wrestling. Okay. But we know that. But mainly, you are not safe in the AEW locker room. You're not safe in the NXT parking lot. Consistently from week to week to week, one of those two places will cause a problem. Just this past week, I forgot who was assaulted. We're going to go over the NXT show.
A couple weeks ago, Roderick Strong was assaulted.
Roderick Strong was assaulted a few weeks ago. Alba Fire assaulted Mandy Rose. I think Alba Fire kidnapped Mandy Rose in the NXT parking lot. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be the six-woman tag team.
Yeah.
But Alba kidnapped Mandy.
Yes.
A week after setting a fire in between her and Toxic Attraction.
In the parking lot. The most dangerous place on earth.
And then, if you guys are seeing this after the fact, you guys already see the thumbnail. The Toxic God over in AEW starting shit with legitimate fighters like Eddie Kingston and fucking Andrade.
If The Rock is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, then Sammy Guevara is the most toxic man in sports entertainment and professional wrestling across the board. Across the board.
So, I have often criticized in our talks Tony Khan's lack of leadership.
Okay, yeah, well,
here's what I want to say right now.
Yeah.
So, Andrade had him and the Dark Order had a special thing, a tribute match to Brody Lee for Ten's mask.
Okay.
Tony Khan cancels that match, suspends Andrade for a beef with Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara throws the first punch at AEW last night, still sends Andrade home, puts Sammy Guevara in the main event, and he picks up the pinfall in the main event.
Against the champion, Daniel Garcia. That's all of that is bad. If they want to know how much of that is bad, the whole thing. From beginning to end, it is bad.
This is the second time Sammy Guevara started shit with somebody and that other person got suspended, and Sammy was put in title matches and making out with Ty Conti on TV week in and week out.
Back to what I said, that the most dangerous place, one of the most dangerous places in professional wrestling is the AEW locker room. So for those that are in the know, Andrade did an interview recently. I forgot what outlet it was. Don't ask me.
It was one of the Lucha outfits.
Yeah, but you can find it on the internet somewhere. That's not my problem. Deal with it, okay? So there was a few really key notes in there. How he loves AEW in the schedule. His problem is currently, which we've all as fans have said, like in a growing rage, that they've done nothing with Andrade that has made him special. Yes, he has the Andrade family office, okay? But when you have things like this, okay? So I'm going to give somebody a rewind when it comes to professional wrestling. In order to make a bad guy feel important, he either has to have something that everybody wants or wants something really bad that somebody else has, okay? With the Andrade family office, there's nothing, because Andrade, honestly enough, it should have had a title by now, okay? Andrade himself should have been the TNT champion. If I was booking Andrade, I would have booked him just like Triple H booked him with the U.S. title? Is that what he had? Was the IC title?
The U.S.
I would have booked him the same way with the U.S. title. Just come out and putting on banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, when he beat Rey Mysterio for it at a house show.
Yeah.
And then, it was the U.S. title.
Yeah. You could still do the Andrade family office stuff, right? All that could still be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he could say, I'm the TNT championship. I am the face of TNT. They could have literally said that. And that would be the prize. You're fighting for the TNT title, and you're fighting for and that's the prize that you're fighting Andrade for. To be not only the TNT champion, but the face of TV. That could have been it. The translation could have been all fucked up. And it would have been funny, but when you step in the ring on Andrade, he would be putting on bangers every single fucking time. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, look at him. Nobody expected him to be a good NXT champion, but he was one of the best NXT champions.
Yeah, he was too good, which is why they wanted him on the main roster. But as we all know, where Andrade walked, eventually as it's going to come along, what's his name? My main man's Legado del Fantasma, the whole squad is going to run, and they're going to run right through
Santos and all them when they get to the main roster.
Yeah. Literally, that's what it should have been. The Andrade family office should have been Legado del Fantasma. That should have been the AEW version of Legado del Fantasma. Instead, it ended up being mostly a joke. Okay. Well,
so one of the big issues is Private Party is never taken seriously as a heel tag team.
No.
The Butcher and the Blade are alternating injuries.
Yep.
And they're just not using Andrade. They brought in Roosh.
Yeah.
Who Roosh forgets the script in half his matches.
Yeah, well, shit, that's a par for the course for some people in AEW. So I guess, listen, tell me I'm wrong. But anyways.
You're not wrong, but the AEW roster, if you can't get TV time for Andrade, FTR, these guys who have proven to put asses in seats.
Yeah.
Then your roster is way too overbloated and you do not know how to control it.
Well, yeah. And so and we'll get to that because that's another important discussion that we have to talk about. It's actually, that discussion is actually part of a larger discussion that we need to talk about today before we get into Extreme Rules and all that jazz. But so we had the few key points. He was talking about that, what we've all been saying about he feels he would have been better used, but he said it's okay because he understands. He was very praiseworthy of Tony Khan and AEW in the interview.
Andrade is not spiteful towards AEW.
No, it's just the chips have fallen where they have fallen, and again, we'll go over that, because again, that's part of a larger discussion.
And again, it's also the issues with the whole AAA thing. He couldn't participate in Forbidden Door. Yeah,
and that disrupted a lot of stuff. The whole AAA in New Japan beef is, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Well, not even AAA, it's CMLL.
Yeah, CMLL.
It's CMLL. AAA is on good terms with everybody apparently now because of the new owner, new chairman. But he talked about his wife, how right now Charlotte's taking some time off for personal reasons. And he said Charlotte will discuss that in the post. And I honestly, if we're all saying it's one of two things, either A, she's had surgery, or B, she's pregnant. That's kind of just where I'm at with that one because it's been a while.
And also, people also need to realize that Charlotte is not a spring chicken. She's in her late 30s.
Yeah. She's got if she wants a family, she deserves it. She has done enough for pro wrestling in the last I've been watching NXT since 2014, and that's when I first saw her. So it's been 8 years of Charlotte. Think about what she's accomplished in the last 8 years.
Oh yeah, okay? And I know, and where Paige kicked open the door for this new diva, this new women's wrestling in WWE. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bayley took that shit and flew with it.
Yeah, ran through the fucking door. Paige kicked down the door, and all these wonderful divas have went through it. So we have that part. So we're anticipating an announcement, he said, in the coming months from Charlotte Flair regarding her status and what's going on.
And I'm hoping that she is pregnant and they start a family because she deserves it. With the passing of her little brother not too long, a while back.
Yeah.
And all that shit. And everything she's gone through in wrestling.
Yeah.
Being told that you're only here because of your daddy. No, when she first came into NXT, she didn't use her daddy's name.
No, she was Charlotte. It was Charlotte. Everybody knew, but she didn't use the name. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't get used until she went against Natalya in a Hart versus Flair match.
Yep. And that was the whole thing. And I love Charlotte Flair. I think the problem I have with Charlotte Flair is the same problem I have with Naomi, which I don't really have a problem as much as it speaks volume for how good they are, is that they're too good. They're too athletic. They move fast.
But my issue is, yes, they are all those things, but one is tremendously overbooked and the other one is underbooked.
Underbooked, yes, but because they want to lean on Charlotte Flair. They didn't know why. You hear the Flair name and it's
Shoehorn Charlotte. That's the nickname she got.
Well, I know, and I will guarantee you, there's probably times that she's wanting to take off, and then they give her the Jon Moxley treatment. Well, we don't believe in this person. Can you take over for him?
Yeah. Or
this
person got hurt, and now the storyline's fucked.
Yep, exactly. So that's one big thing that we have that's in there. There was another thing where he talked about. He briefly talked about the New Japan CMLL stuff and how he's pissed off at CMLL, and he said it'll never work for him again. He said he's never going back to Mexico because of all the bullshit that happened.
He's still in a contract with them for another year?
Yeah, but he said he's not going back. So fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an option as far as going on the thing. But he also said that AAA, because of AAA owes him a debt because if it wasn't for him, Ric Flair would have never been in that match.
Yeah,
it's true.
Which we all know Ric Flair shouldn't have been in that match.
No, but it was a joint NWA, AAA production. So because there was NWA wrestlers and AAA wrestlers at the show, and they owe him a big deal of shit.
And Big Nature got knocked out twice in that match.
Yes. And then comes the Sammy Guevara situation. So, Andrade said that he doesn't bullshit, he doesn't sugarcoat. If he has a problem with somebody, that he lets them know. He said he's only ever had a problem with one person in AEW, and he mentioned him by name. He said it's Sammy Guevara. Mm-hmm. The only issue that he had was that Sammy Guevara complained that Andrade hit him really hard. And that Andrade said...
That's why Tony Khan tried to ban his spinning elbow.
Yeah. And that's what... And what you call him said, if I hit hard, you hit me hard back. This is how we do it around here.
Receipts, bitch.
Yeah, that's what it is. If I hit you fucking hard, you hit me fucking hard.
Oh, wait. Okay? You know who needs to step up and say something right now about Sammy complaining?
Yeah.
Ruby Soho.
Oh, yeah. Look, because, listen, if we go down that path, we're going to be here forever. I'm already pissed off about that shit. I mean, I'm pissed off that once again, Ruby Soho was finally getting momentum and a storyline and something good with Ortiz and everything else was good. And then the shit just, momentum dropped again.
All because of Sammy.
All because of Sammy. All the common denominators, right? Okay, so he says, and so when that statement was, all that statement was, he didn't say he had beef. with Sammy Guevara. He said the only person he's ever had an issue with
Mhm.
was Sammy Guevara, and he told him to his face that if I hit you, you hit me hard. If I hit you hard, you feel I hit you hard, you hit me hard. That's wrestling, okay? Now, Andrade is in his early 30s, okay?
Mhm.
But he's been wrestling since he was 14, 15 years old.
And he's not going to punk out the Sammy Guevara.
Not a single soul. Because once you wrestle in Mexico, and to get the respect from Lucha Libre wrestlers, you have to fucking hit hard. When somebody hits you, they want to see if you're going to give them a receipt. They want to see if you're down to do the get down. And if you're not, then you're going to get called a bitch, okay? So that's the code that Andrade lives by. He's not that much older than Sammy Guevara, but Sammy Guevara is still wet behind the ears. He's not even 25 years. I don't think Sammy Guevara is even 25 years old yet.
No, he's not. He's I think he just turned 25.
Yeah, he's wet behind the ears. Barely can get a discount on his car insurance.
And
okay?
he was in Lucha Underground for a splash of water.
Yeah, but he was in WWE in the Performance Center where Lacey Evans cussed his ass out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Talk shit about him. And there's a video out there about that too, if you don't believe me. And he just rubs people the wrong way. And I really tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? I really sat here and said, you know, he's young, he needs to learn, and he needs some guidance. And that is all true.
Mhm.
But here's the problem, okay? The people that need to teach him aren't teaching him. Chris Jericho knows better.
And the ones that try to, he runs to Tony and complains about.
Yeah. I literally, dead ass honest, okay? Once Andrade got there, okay? And once all of his associates, and once they started having a miniature work relationship with AAA, okay? It wasn't like this big thing, but we saw AAA wrestlers on AEW television and CMLS wrestlers on AAA television because of Andrade, okay? Once you start building that thing, and once Sammy Guevara was like, I'm gonna do a solo run now because they're strapping the TNT title to my back after beating Rusev because this all happened around the same time.
In which he had some banger matches with that title.
See, that's the fucked up part about it. When Sammy Guevara is on it, to me, he deserves to be a pillar.
Dude, that the Cody Rhodes ladder match.
Yeah.
Then the Scorpio Sky ladder match was just nasty.
And it's crazy because remember, Cody Rhodes' first match in AEW was against Sammy Guevara. When it was officially AEW, that was his first match.
Yep.
The first match on television.
Because at All In, he had Darby, but they weren't an official company yet.
It wasn't AEW. It was still under the Ring of Honor banner and shit like that. But the first actual match and his last actual match was against Sammy Guevara. Okay? So, we'll get to that. And like I said, we'll get to that in a second. But Sammy retaliates on Twitter. Says something around, you didn't say shit to my face. Blah, 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 blah. And then the low blow, the Sammy Guevara low blow. We all know what you want to go back to WWE. Why don't you take your ass back there?
Yeah, when he said that shit. So, Andrade has not made it a secret that he loves Triple H.
Yeah.
And Triple H loves Andrade. We all know this.
Yeah.
But Andrade is loyal to who he works for.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's honor. It's about honor. Okay? And that's what it comes down to. So Andrade says, if I see you, I'll tell it to your face. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to fight you, amigo. But when I see you, I'm going to see you. You're going to fuck around. In other words, in Espanol, you're going to fuck around and find out. That's what it was. Okay? And Tuesday, Tony Khan tells the guys, no fighting when you get to the stadium, okay?
Wednesday rolls around.
Don't fight, guys, please. Please, I will send people home if you fight.
And it's fucked up because from what I've read, Andrade didn't even throw a punch.
No. Well,
Sammy,
he didn't throw the first punch.
Yeah, the first punch. Sammy threw the punch after Andrade said what he was going to say.
Yeah. You fuck around and find out. And as Jim Cornette said, and I know we don't like to pair Jim Cornette phrases, right? So after it happened, he says, if only there was some sort of signal, some sort of sign that was out there that would have said that this was going to happen.
I was like, you know what, Cornette, you're right on this one. You're absolutely right on this one.
If there was just some sort of
If there's a
symbol,
warning, somewhere that this could possibly happen.
yeah, it's not like it was blatantly posted on Twitter or
Because
anything like that.
if you work with Andrade and he says he's going to do something, it's like he told Drew McIntyre, "I'm going to try and knock you out." What did he do? He knocked that man out in NXT.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out. See that should have been the name of the show. Fuck around and find out. That's really what it really should have been. So now that we've solidified in the last month. Yeah, in a month.
Because the Eddie Kingston stuff is still not done.
No, Eddie Kingston stuff's still not done.
Remember, Eddie Kingston tapped Sammy Guevara out. Yeah. Wouldn't let go of the hold, so they reversed the decision.
And I think we were 30 from when that happened, 30 days from All Out when the shit happened with CM Punk and the fucking Elite.
Yep. And okay, so I asked my boy Coop the other day.
Yeah.
I said, I have a couple interesting questions to run by you. I said, first, should Tony Khan, knowing that the Elite likes to not put many people over, and they want to have their way, their contracts are up in another year. Do you bring them back? And that's done. Now that AEW is established and the company is running, with the exception of Sammy Guevara, is running rather drama-free without CM Punk and nearly there.
You want me to answer this question?
Yeah.
So there's three ways to look at this. Okay, there is the reality, there is the money, and then there's the fans. Okay, I'll start with the fans. Casual wrestling fans, while yes, they love Kenny Omega, okay, and they love the Bucks and blah blah blah. Not casual fans, hardcore, diehard casual fans. No, those guys, right? They love them, but hardcore wrestling fans and the casual fan likes guys like John Moxley, Bryan Danielson. He sees those guys and they love Cesaro,
the BCC.
Yeah, they love guys like MJF. You see, MJF is when he chant his name. Did you watch the match yesterday?
Well, so Wheeler Yuta is earning a lot of people's respect since joining the Blackpool Combat Club.
Well, yeah.
So let's talk about Wheeler real quick. So Wheeler was part of a comedy troupe with Orange Cassidy, Trent, and the Best Friends.
Yeah.
They were always comedy. Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, on his debut, said he wants to take guys like Daniel Garcia. Well, Wheeler Yuta was the first name he said.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta.
Daniel Garcia.
Lee Moriarty.
And these cats. And he said, can you imagine this? And we have seen Bryan Danielson and John Moxley destroy Wheeler Yuta the weeks following that shit.
Oh, yeah.
That Wheeler Yuta earned himself into the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, yeah. Very easily.
So last night, and I know Lee Moriarty's going after the Pure title, which is why he attacked Wheeler Yuta, because he's trying to get to Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
But when he attacked Wheeler, MJF was like, I did not ask you to do this.
Yeah.
And it was, they're about to shake hands, because those Wheeler and MJF have a feud much longer than what you see in AEW.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have been around the indies fighting each other for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was fucking great. So he put the diamond ring on. They cut the William Regal. William Regal's like, all right. He walked his ass down there like, you want to go?
Yeah,
come on, MJF.
And listen. There's so many things I thought in my head when I saw this whole exchange.
I'm like, MJF don't want that smoke.
No, you see MJF reluctantly feeling like he owes the firm and not the other way around, right? That's what it felt like.
Yeah, because Malcolm Evans.
Yeah.
That shit that he pulled, I'm like, hold on, wasn't the story that MJF paid them?
Yeah.
So why is Bevins telling MJF what to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering if it's because of W. Morrissey.
I wonder. There's the only thing I can think of.
Did you see what W. Morrissey did to Fuego del Sol?
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was.
I'm like, Fuego back from injury for the first time in 6 months, and he's dead.
And he's dead. Stop! He's already dead.
But it's a very interesting story because MJF will always border that tweener.
So I thought about this, right? You know what this feels like? The Rock right after the Nation betrayed him.
Where he betrayed the Nation?
No,
remember he took out Farouk first.
Yes, but then remember as went along and he was the leader and the shit like that, and when Owen Hart joined up, and remember D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry jumped him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically jumped him out of the Nation. That was the end of the Nation domination. And remember every single moment after that? This is what this feels like right now. It feels like that first face run to test the waters to see if MJF could be a face but still be MJF.
So my whole thing is this: if they were planning on doing a face run, because MJF is one of the top 5 heels in the business.
Yeah.
If they were going to do that, they should have pulled the trigger when CM Punk was still there, because you could turn CM Punk heel and MJF face, and it would have worked perfectly.
But it was essentially going to happen that way, though.
Yeah, I know that CM Punk got all his Colt Cabana shit.
Had that not happened, had none of that happened, okay, that's what it would be. You would see this would be a double turn. This would be essentially a full-on double turn. This probably would have been the biggest double turn since Hart and Austin.
Yeah, because now you could have put MJF over CM Punk for the title, but now you have a little bit of a problem.
Well, now you
got MJF and you have an extremely popular Jon Moxley and Hangman Page in the middle.
Yeah.
Get ready to come together.
But you also have Moxley who needs time off because he was busting his fucking ass.
If I don't know if they could put MJF over Moxley and make it positive. I think they could do it with Hangman. With Hangman, they could bring back the Elite and turn Hangman into a heel.
But you can't. But see, that's the thing. You can't put MJF. You can't put Hangman over Moxley. That's the problem. You can't do that.
Hangman beat Moxley in a ladder match before.
Yeah, but this Moxley is miles ahead of everybody.
But that's why. That's when, if and when you bring back Omega and the Bucks,
which goes back to what
Moxley's a match.
So now I got to go back to your question now, which is the whole Elite thing. So right now, with shows not being filled up right now, that's a big problem right now in AEW. They're having to get. It's starting to feel like WCW 98, 99 now. And that's not good, bro. You already know.
I've already made that comparison multiple times to other people I talk wrestling with.
Yeah, it's not looking good. And the reason and that fall off happened when both CM Punk and the Elite got into their little squabble. Okay, because they're suspended both. They're not gone. Casual fans know where the fuck CM Punk at. But the flip side to this is that AEW has put on some of the best television and wrestling matches since that happened.
Dude,
so I feel
that match between Wardlow and Brian Cage last night was fucking nonsense.
The last 6 weeks of AEW television has been must-see TV, and I wish that the drama surrounding the shit didn't corrupt the bullshit. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we have a multitude of problems. We have the attendance is not looking good because huge stars aren't there. Big stars aren't there. Okay.
If Mox and Bryan Danielson are not on the card, they're not selling out the arenas.
And the worst part about this is the word on the street was that CM Punk would have not been there if he had surgery again on his shoulder.
Because he tore his pec and his shoulder injury.
Yeah. He did. And that would have been the same shit. We would have been in the same boat, regardless of whether the fight happened or not. The problem is that now, like, where do we go from here? Like that's where it would have been back then. We know where we are now because we have Mox as the champ. But if that would have happened again, 2 consecutive title matches, where after the match he's injured, and he's got to relinquish the title again. At some point, you got to say maybe we shouldn't be putting CM Punk in title matches,
or even putting him on the card.
Yeah, which. He's the draw though.
I know that.
He is the draw, which lays back to my initial issue. Is that when the first year of AEW, when they got the guys that really Vince McMahon and Triple H as a collective found disposable, because this was before Triple H's heart issues, okay?
Yep.
They found these guys, Brody Lee, you know what I'm saying? Well, we knew Mox was leaving because of his contract. Bryan Danielson was eventually leaving in a year because of his contract, but that was already in the works, okay? FTR, the same shit. The first year of AEW television was some of the best television for consistently for an entire year, which that's what got people excited
because
for year two.
You already had the Lucha Brothers, who are very established in America.
Yeah.
You had Proud and Powerful, who are very established.
Yeah.
You bring in FTR. You got the Bucks.
Uh-huh.
You got Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. You got all this.
Uh-huh.
You got the Dark Order. It was a perfect melting pot. But then what ended up happening is Tony Khan's like, oh, more guys got released. Let's add some more to this melting pot. The problem is you don't want that melting pot to overflow.
Well, it doesn't help that the pot's not that big to begin with.
No.
Okay? Because unlike WWE, AEW only had, at the time, 2 hours of television before they added Rampage and
Dynamite. All they had was Dynamite and Dark.
Yeah, but Dark was only the 1 hour show, Dark show, and then they expanded it to whenever we feel like turning the shit off. That's kind of what Dark was. And then they added Dark and then Dark Rampage, which is still whenever we feel like turning the shit off. You know what I'm saying?
And then Elevation.
Yeah. And so, but even at that, it's so AEW Dark and AEW Elevation was nowhere near must-see YouTube TV like NWA was, because NWA was only on YouTube, and it had all their megastars and all their guys doing banger matches on there.
The only shows that really did big numbers early for Dark were the ones that the Dark Order were basically in every match.
Well, yeah, because they were. It's Dark. It's their show. Mm-hmm. They're the draw. You know what I'm saying? But now we've come to a point where the lack of inconsistent booking, the lack of creating big stars because of the booking, okay,
and the inconsistent booking, because they'll start a storyline,
yeah,
and it'll go away for 3 weeks, then it'll come back,
yeah, which this all and then on top of that, the influx of people that Tony Khan is paying.
Lean the other way so you stop getting cut in half.
I'm on the screen. I don't know what you're talking about. So you're
like.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. No, but the lack of consistent booking, the lack of the overflow and overflux of wrestlers that are in AEW from all places.
Mm-hmm.
Every single place. And the fact that he's still trying to sign people. And now that, which is a revelation we learned from Malachi Black, that he felt that he was told that something was going to happen, and that whatever that thing happened didn't come to fruition. And I don't think it had anything to do with a title. Because remember, Malachi Black got let go.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who else was a free agent? Zelina Vega. Okay.
Then WWE brought her back.
Brought her back before they signed the contract with Malachi Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? But I mean, we're brought back. We're right after, somewhere around there. But they didn't. Apparently, I felt like they didn't take Zelina Vega serious enough. And I'm like, this is his dude's wife, okay?
And she's obviously she can wrestle.
Yeah, she can
when
wrestle.
You give her the chance, she can go.
Yeah, this is dude's wife, who also just happens to be a great professional fucking wrestler. Okay. So, explain to me why you didn't sign her to begin with. And I feel like he told, that he was going to. And then maybe, I don't know if they offered more money or whatever the case may be. But they didn't. They didn't end up signing her. We all thought that was pretty much going to be a done deal, right? Me and you talked about it. It was like, they have the room to sign both because there's barely any people in the women's division right now.
Yeah, because at the time, the women's division was very weak.
It was Riho and Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida. That was the women's division. And then people that,
And Britt Baker.
Remember, Britt Baker was injured, though, still with the hand injury. And then you had who else was it? You have all these indie girls. I think Kylan King is now.
But she's bouncing between NWA and AEW.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really much. You had Zelina Vega to it. You had a little bit of pizzazz to the fucking women's division. Okay, and obviously she's an avid gamer. She's played online with a few people.
Yep.
So it was a no-brainer, and that didn't happen. And I think when that didn't happen, then WWE went back on the road, and then AEW went back on the road because remember they live in Orlando. They live down here where I'm at.
Yep.
Okay. So and because there's nothing, it's a 2-hour drive to Jacksonville, right? And then the Performance Center was out here, and then when they were actually filming in Tampa Bay at the Ray Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Once everybody went back on the road, that really went to shit.
Yeah, because WWE gave her that push to become the queen and the women's tag team champions.
Yep. And so now, the way it is and the way it stands, they've been separated from each other, and that has to really fuck with your mind. Malachi Black is not like a normal person, like not like a normal wrestler that can be away from his wife and shit. You know what I'm saying? And be okay with it. You got to remember, a lot with European men, they love their women. They love their women to death.
And that's why Walter Gunther did not come to America immediately.
Yeah, he did not want to come.
It took him, 6 years to actually move to America finally?
Yeah. And that, you know how much finagling and shit that probably took from Triple H to make this happen?
For him, because his wife is a wrestler too.
Yeah.
She's not in WWE. She's in the independent scene.
Yeah. But Walter didn't want to do that shit. And so now you see we have all all these problems and all this shit is coming to a head in AEW. So we lost the Malachi Black has been booked to shit. Andrade has been booked to shit.
And also we forgot one thing. Buddy Matthews asked for time off too.
Buddy Matthews asked for time off too.
It's possible release.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently that's not the case. But the difference is Buddy Matthews, again, his wife works in WWE or his girlfriend or whatever, fiance, whatever you want to call her.
Because him and Liv Morgan are together.
No, not Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, Rhea. He was with Liv a long time ago. That's right.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you see how this all goes now? And so now,
could you imagine Buddy come back to WWE and participate in the Judgment Day?
Yes. My problem is I feel like Buddy Matthews or Buddy, whatever Buddy Murphy, needs the spotlight. They need the strap. He knows how to talk.
Yeah.
He's very charismatic. He's not dull.
Obviously his talent is unmatched. I mean,
unmatched.
If you look at, so you can go back to WWE and look at the Aleister Black Buddy Murphy matches.
Oh yeah, bangers for years. For no goddamn reason. They just out there fucking just beating the shit out of each other. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much. And that's why they have the relationship that they have now. And so Brody King is out here on an island now. And I'm just like, this is the man now. Now you got to strap a rocket to this man.
Yeah, because Brody King has already shown, while the House of Black was popular, that he can go above. When he got that match with John Moxley. Yeah.
Which is why
Brody
they had
King
to quickly make a storyline out of the shit between him and fucking Darby Allin. Because I don't really know honest to God, I didn't expect that to happen. But I'm like, they need to make a storyline about that one. But then, I don't know. I feel like they botched that too. I didn't feel like that. I like the brutality.
I think the biggest mistake was the last thing where having Darby choke out Brody and then falling both off the stage.
You know why though? Because that was a testament to what Brody King did to Darby Allin.
I know that.
Yeah, and that was the reason why.
I really hope Julia Hart's okay after that bad table spot she had. And it was awesome to see the Great Muta. And it was announced recently, so some good news out of what AEW did is it is now confirmed the Great Muta's last match of February of 2023, he will be wrestling Sting, his greatest rival ever, in his last match.
That was going to be, to me, Sting can still go in limited
And Muda
spurts.
can too. Because you look at Muda's matches over the last year, he walks slow, he moves slow, but when that mother gets to wrestling, my man still got the moves.
He feels that fucking energy, dude, and he feels that energy. And listen, I'm here for it. AEW has a problem, and I don't know. It's not as easily solvable as what people are out there claiming to do is, take away the booking from Tony Khan. No, because every person that's on the that you would probably say to take over for him is unproven at best, except for William Regal. But William Regal's more of a face as far as like a face for a company.
And that's what we talk. That's what we talk about. They need to like William Regal, like the GM, let him run shit. Take some of that shit away from Tony. Yeah. William Regal is not afraid to get in these wrestlers' faces.
No, he's not. I just think as far as a corporate position, there's so much that has to be done.
That's where Shivani and Ross should come in.
Well, they do now because now, recently, as of to the shit that happened with CM Punk and the Bucks, now they're the heads of fucking talent relations, because of all the bullshit that happened. Because people were suspended that were in corporate positions that were supposed to be responsible enough to make sure that the shit didn't happen between CM Punk.
Hey, I'm going to throw a chair at you. What?
I mean, it's to the point where his wife had to step away, or sister, or something, whatever, had to step away because she was there with the shit that happened with them.
And then the worst thing about it is there was somebody from the AEW Jacksonville Jaguars legal team who watched all this.
Yeah,
there's a reason that the Bucks and the Omega only got suspended, and we never heard anything about what's going on with Punk and Ace Steel. Because those two men are getting their contracts bought out and shipped the fuck somewhere. They're gone.
Which sucks. Because a lot of people aren't going to admit this. A lot of people aren't gonna say this with your chest, and I will say this with my chest. The moment that CM Punk stepped into AEW when he came out to Cult of Personality, which was about a year ago. Okay,
it's a year and 4 months now.
Yeah, no, it was in September. Yeah.
Okay.
So, or August. It was August or September, one of the two. Either way, the moment that CM Punk stepped into AEW was the moment that it legitimized AEW as a contender.
No, and I will agree with you on that one.
And that was it. But then that exposed a lot of shit that's wrong with AEW. So with the fame and the success comes the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened.
And let's call a spade here. There's a reason Triple H said what he said about CM Punk 8 years ago.
Of course.
And we saw that all come out in that press conference, unfortunately.
Of course. Okay. And I know. And I hope that if you guys are watching, if you're watching and you end up watching this later, go back to the last show we did about a month ago regarding this. Because we talked a lot about that. And the end game, to me, the whole thing was that everybody was right, everybody was wrong, everybody deserves to be punished. And that was simply me. And that's how I felt, because Hangman Page, the catalyst of all this shit, nothing happened to him. Okay? He was probably the man that listened to the Elite regarding how to do this promo when he went at him. Because they were probably all talking in a circle, and once you call him, got you gassed up, because you know how when you're with your homies.
And real talk, the wrestling video we did before that last one a month ago, which was like 6 or 7 months ago, I said, with CM Punk and Bryan Danielson coming in, they should not put the belt on Hangman because it's not going to fucking matter for him.
Nope.
He is going to get overshadowed by these guys.
Nope.
And what happened? Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, Kyle O'Reilly. You know, all these motherfuckers came in, and Hangman Page title reign is he had a great match against Lance Archer. Yes, him beating Kenny Omega was fantastic. Great match. But in the Adam Cole matches.
Yeah.
But what did he actually do as champion?
And that's where the problem lies. So, and I hate that I'm going to have to say this, because I never want to try and take away anybody's joy, right? But I did say this Not in the last show, but the show previously.
Hmm?
Hangman Page having a child at the time that he had a child was absolutely the worst thing that could have happened to Hangman's push. Because when the way that they sent him out was like a bitch. Because there should have been no way that he should have been able to get another shot at the title again the way that he did and then subsequently beat Kenny Omega.
Yeah, win the ladder match. And
this is how this really should have went down. If he knew that we was going to have a child and child was coming along, Hangman, the Dark Order should have still won that match. They should have taken the titles off of the Young Bucks at the time. Okay, the Young Bucks were about giving people their shot and giving people their just desserts and everything and blah 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 blah. That's what should have happened. Okay, then you make it so that yes, Hangman is going to get his title shot, but guess what you do? You do a fucking stretcher job so Hangman never gets his fucking title shot. And then you know what you do from there? You say, okay, the Dark Order is going to take up the mantle for fucking Hangman Page, okay? Right? And then so what you do, we know.
While you're doing that, you do not let the contracts expire for Stu Grayson, Alan Five Angels.
Yeah, exactly. So this is when you have the Dark Order go to war against the Elite. That's what that should have happened for the next 6 weeks. Okay? And it sort of kind of did, but it was no point because you lost clean to the Young Bucks for the tag team titles. And then Hangman lost his shot, lost clean. You know what I'm saying? Like either way, you fucked up. The Dark Order should have won the tag titles. It would have been a feel-good story, especially now that we were almost about a year out from what with Brody Lee and the whole situation. That was the goal. That's absolutely should have been the goal. You jump Hangman Page, take him the fuck out the thing, okay? Then you could have not had to use the Joker on Hangman Page. You could have used the Joker on a number of debuting superstars up to and including a guy named Bryan Danielson because it was around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or Kyle O'Reilly or Adam Cole.
And you could have done that with no fucking problem. And you would have been like, that would have set up the next 6 months of feuds. Whoever it was, whether it was Bryan Danielson or Adam Cole, it would have set up the next 6 months of feuds. All right? Because they failed to do any of that. And especially that they lost clean. That's the big thing, too. Nobody understands. When a bad guy beats a good guy clean, that's it. If a bad guy beats a good guy dirty, then you have a leg to stand on.
So, as far as the Dark Order goes, them losing that match clean led to, like I said, Stu Grayson not being renewed. Alan Five Angels not being renewed.
Yep.
Colt Cabana taking a more backstage role.
Yep.
And my biggest complaint right now is they had the Dark Order come out and do the State of the Dark Order, how they were all, still together.
Uh-huh.
Not 1 week later, out of nowhere, Anna Jay is part of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yep. And then, don't forget about Alan Angels got let go a couple weeks later after that.
No, I already said Alan Angels. He was the second one. Because remember, first it was Stu Grayson, and then Alan Angels.
Yeah.
But then, for whatever reason, Anna Jay just said, fuck the Dark Order, and they put him with the Jericho Appreciation Society for no fucking reason.
I'm just saying, the goal, the vision was there. They should have won the tag team titles. Put the stretcher job on fucking Hangman Page. Make sure he doesn't fucking make it to the shit. Forget about the whole using the insecurity bullshit. At that point, if you could have said the Dark Order is not motivated to win, I mean, they won with Hangman's motivation. That was the catalyst that Hangman needed, and that was the confidence he needed. But what happened? You have the fucking you have the Elite take this nigga out because you would have had 4 niggas to 1.
Or you do what they did to him during his championship run. Have Lance Archer just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, beat the absolute shit out of him. Pay the nigga. Pay Jake the Snake to pay Lance Archer to beat the shit out this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then you could have probably even said, you could have promised Lance Archer a title match one day or some shit like that. Fucked around. And then
you could have moved on even more with the better feud of Archer versus Moxley.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you have the whole, and I'm saying you would have had the whole Dark Order going against Kenny Omega for the title, like the ones that didn't have the tag team title.
Like
You know what I'm saying?
Uno and 10.
Yeah. You could have Uno.
I still think Silver and Reynolds should be the tag team champions.
Me too, but that's what I said. That they should have fucking won it. You know.
Then you had a chance to put the trios titles on them,
and you didn't do that.
But I understand why. See, they should have had them beat the Elite at All Out. Not the opposite way.
Yeah.
Because the opposite way then, and there's the fucked up booking that I just want to talk about right here. So you had the Dark Order versus the Elite. You put the Elite over. Shit happens in the media squad. The Elite, stripped of the titles, suspended. So thinking you're like, oh, cool, the Dark Order should be in that match to get those belts, since they were just in the finals. No, we're going to put Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends against the Death Triangle.
Yeah.
Not even involve the fucking Dark Order.
Yeah.
Why? What did the Dark Order do? Tony Khan, in my opinion, has failed what he said about Brody Lee, has failed what he's promised -1. Mm-hmm. He has failed what he said he was going to do for the Dark Order.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to sit here and bullshit. I can't sit here. Every single thing that you just said is an absolute fact. I can't sit here and bullshit with you on that.
And if you look over my shoulder right there, you see him looking at us. Him and his son just staring at us right now.
Yeah.
I bought the limited edition Brody Lee -1 combo for $75.
There was so much. He failed, but even in turn, he failed Adam Page. Okay, and that could have like I said, that spot could have went to somebody else, anybody else, for that Joker shit.
Yeah, because with everybody coming in, Adam Page didn't need it right there.
No,
you could have went another 2 years before Adam Page won the title.
But he could have came back instead of coming in as the Joker. Mm-hmm. They could have built up the return of Adam Page to win it that night, because now at that moment, now we're turning over a new leaf in AEW. Then you can say, guess what? Now Adam Page is our champion. Okay, Adam Cole was the Joker. We got a new era coming, new bad guy coming in, a new antagonist. Okay, CM Punk's coming in because now that this old boy has brought in the whole fucking entire elite, not the elite, the Undisputed Era now.
With the exception of Roderick Strong.
Except of Roger Strong. But the main squad, as you say.
Bobby, Kyle, and Cole.
Yeah, you would have had that. That would have been a gradual thing. Kenny Omega could have, at that night would have been done, could have had a surgery, and he would have been back sooner. Or he would have had more time to heal, and he wouldn't be plodding around like he was just recently.
Instead of fucking holding titles in 4 organizations and doing hardcore matches in all 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
While being injured.
Exactly. Which is the whole reason why they had to get Christian that belt, because
even though I still think that was a mistake, I think they should have put it on Sami Callihan when they had that match.
Oh yeah, either Sami Callihan or they should have him Josh Alexander legit beat him clean in Impact to get the title back. But that's another story for another day.
So let's finish up on AEW here. Let's talk about some good things that are going on. And it's usually the opposite here. The good things are the WWE.
Well, it's 2 words, Sami and Zayn. That's what it is. That's the best thing in WWE right now. It is the feel-good story.
I cannot wait for the implosion when Jey Uso's head finally pops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And this motherfucker gonna snap like fucking Farouk did to Ahmed Johnson back in 97.
Or Batista did to Rey Mysterio, where he's like, and he's dead. Yeah.
Exactly. This motherfucker gonna snap. It's gonna be a wrap. It's over. Done with. Dunzo. Kaput. Capiche.
So, in my fantasy booking here, when they finally decide to put both belts on the line, my fantasy booking is Sami Zayn still with the bloodline. Out there with Roman Reigns taking on the prize fighter, Kevin motherfucking Owens. Referee takes a ref bump. Sami Zayn runs in, haluva kick on Roman, pop-up powerbomb. Sami Zayn helps KO win the title, and then he screws the Usos out of their tag team titles too.
Oh my God. Listen.
Then KO and Sami Zayn beat the Usos for the tag team titles.
Oh my Lord! Listen, You really want to go down this rabbit hole? I got something for you. Okay.
Hey, pun intended.
So, and this is really going to be dependent on if Cody Rhodes is coming back or not. You ready for this one? Have Sami Zayn somehow accidentally win the Royal Rumble.
He eliminates Jey Uso.
Yes.
To win the Royal Rumble.
Now, here we go. Wait. So what you call him goes for a haluva kick on somebody and he hits Jey Uso with it. And then boom, knocks him out. And then the other person tries to take out Sami Zayn, but he somehow gives him a crucifix over the fucking top rope, and Sami Zayn is your Royal Rumble winner.
Boy, how about this? Sami Zayn, the top 4 in the match.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, Solo, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso.
No, that would be fucked up.
He hits Jey with the haluva. Jimmy runs over, goes over the top rope. Solo, because if you notice, Sammy's been really twisting Solo a certain way during this. He's protecting Solo more than anybody.
Listen,
which is I think is what Jey is really pissed off about now too.
You got my younger brother, nigga. Fuck you.
He's like, I'm his brother. I'm his brother. And Sami Zayn just over there. Come on, Solo, let's go. So, in Solo, Samuel gives Solo that hug.
Yes.
And act like he's going to eliminate himself and then toss Solo over the top.
Oh, that'd be fucked up. That'd be fucked up. But I'm like, if it's an accident, right? Then then Roman Reigns got a question. Are you down with us? And then, but Triple H or whoever's the GM, Adam Pearson says, listen, Sami Zayn is the Royal Rumble winner. There has to be a WrestleMania main event match for the Royal Rumble winner. So it has to be Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed title of all the belts on the line. And we could go so many ways with this. All the enemies of Roman Reigns comes out, beats the shit out this nigga, helps Sami Zayn win the title. That's like true fantasy booking right now. Because Roman Reigns has made a plethora of enemies. Notwithstanding Drew McIntyre.
You see Country Rock come out and just F5 the shit out this man?
It's gonna be a
Country Rock comes out, F5's Roman, then F5 Sammy, and puts Sammy on top of Roman.
Oh, that would be
carries Sammy out of the fucking arena.
That would be.
Because remember the Brock Lesnar Sami Zayn interaction over the last couple of years.
That would be beautiful and fucked up at the same time. Oh man!
Then you hear adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes.
We all know that the reality is that if Cody Rhodes is ready to go,
at the Royal Rumble, he's winning the Royal Rumble.
He has to win the Royal Rumble, and he has to be. To me, it's the only person right now.
I think we already talked about it. We both believe that Roman is going to headline both nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I think he's going to lose both. He's going to drop both.
That way he can take the time off that he needs to take off.
Yeah.
And you can put the belts on separate brands again.
Uh-huh.
Because Karrion Kross, Drew McIntyre, all these guys are making a big move right now.
Yeah.
So let's have some fun right here, okay?
Hey, real quick. So if that happens, if Roman Reigns takes time off, the last time I say about it, Sami Zayn should take over the bloodline. All right, now let's go.
I truly believe with the way Jey Uso is acting, and I say this in a sincerest way, I think Jey Uso would murder Paul Heyman and then murder Sami Zayn.
But they got Solo. Solo's going to take out Jey. Solo's going to make Jey get in line.
Hey, Solo's so vicious, he made Ricochet bounce his own self off of a fucking wall-up door.
Nigga, Solo and Braun Strowman beat the brakes off of each other.
They did.
I can't wait for that.
I'm like, hold up. Solo's proven himself here.
I'm telling you. I can't wait for that match. But go ahead. Let's go.
For the final segment here, we're going to pick Extreme Rules.
Yes.
All right. We are going to – there's only been 6 matches confirmed, which is awesome. That means they can give all the matches good time.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with – so tomorrow night on SmackDown, we have Gunther defending his IC title against Sheamus. In my opinion, this is where Sheamus picks up the title to complete his Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
he won't hold it for long because Gunther will get it back unless they're going to throw Gunther in the heavyweight title hunt.
Yeah.
But following that, we have the Brawling Brutes.
Yep.
Bitch Botch and what was it? Bitch Botch and Butch?
Yeah, Bitch Botch and Butch.
Taking on Imperium in a
Oh,
good old fashioned Donnybrook match.
I find what the Brutes don't have a win in this whole thing.
They've been pretty much wrecked.
That's yeah.
Because
But
if you remember before they brought back Giovanni, Ludwig took out both Butch and Botch.
You're horrible. You're horrible. You know that. I think they have to get their win. They have to get the win somewhere.
But
especially,
would that hurt Imperium?
No, not at all. Not if Giovanni takes the pin.
No, I'm saying if he beats him for the Intercontinental title, they could put Imperium over the Brawling Brutes because the Brawling Brutes would have got that win with Sheamus.
True, but
who do you pick?
I'm picking the Brutes.
I'm picking Imperium.
I'm picking Shenanigans on Friday night. Okay,
a lot of shenanigans. All right.
A lot of shenanigans on Friday night, and the Brutes to get their win, and then that's the end of the story.
Speaking of shenanigans, next up we have an I Quit match. Edge versus Finn Balor with the Judgment Day.
This should be interesting. I don't think nobody wins if this happens. This is the problem. This is a huge problem. You want to talk about the problem? This is the problem.
But before you say the problem, one of the best bookings right now has been Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. I honestly see if it was me, I wouldn't have made this match. I would have made it Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. That's what it would have been. And then the shenanigans could have been that it was going to look. You could have ended the match with the shenanigans where Rhea Ripley is about to turn on Dominic Mysterio. At least that's what it looks like, right? You know what I'm saying? They could be faking the whole thing, and Rey Mysterio being a dumbass was going to say he quits, you know, and then they laugh at him, and then Dominic beats the shit out of him.
You're talking about basically what Roman did with Jimmy Uso and Jay?
Yeah, because you can't make Finn Balor quit. Okay, that's just not.
No, that's gonna hurt him.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt They haven't had a significant victory at all because even when Dominic Mysterio turned on them, they had still lost the match. I mean, the Judgment Day still lost the match.
They lost it. Yeah, Judgment Day has been very compelling, but they haven't. That compellingness hasn't equaled victories, and they haven't needed it. It's one of the rare times that they're getting better and better coverage without winning.
But now you have your end game. But this is where the problem lies. You
have your Dominic Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but so how does this all fit into the plans? Like, you can't book this in a way. This is tough booking. I wouldn't have never booked this match because this is literally booking yourself into a corner. Because if Edge loses,
unless they do one of the shenanigan things of The Rock and Mick Foley I Quit match, the recording, yeah, something like that.
The only other thing is you could probably even do the same thing that I just talked about with Rey Mysterio and Edge, but what you would do, well, remember with Rey Mysterio and Dominic and all that shit. But you could have Rey Mysterio. But what happened is that the same thing happens to Dom. If you could have Rey Mysterio beg Edge not to,
beg Edge to quit.
Yeah,
that would actually be interesting, especially with the history between Edge and Rey. Yeah, that actually might be the best way to book this match.
Yeah, because then you could actually put Rey and Edge against each other for a little bit. Right, you could have that fractured relationship.
Yeah, because you're going to build up Dominic for WrestleMania.
You got to. You can't, especially now when we're in October. You have to give Dominic something because he's been taking a shitload of L's. He's been Veer Mahan's bitch for what 2 months at some point before the whole Judgment Day shit happens. You can't. There's something's got to be done. You got to build up Dominic in such a way where it's actually compelling.
Then you know you do in January.
What?
Dominic eliminates Rey Mysterio from the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, that can happen, but we still need to build up. We need to build up.
To have that escalation now.
We need to have Dominic Mysterio be taken seriously as a threat over the next 3 months.
So I think we're both taking Finn Balor in this match?
Yeah, because it hurts Edge, but I don't think that Edge is going to say I quit on his own. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think it's going to have to be some coercion.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, they could honestly do something with Rhea and Beth Phoenix, too.
They could. Also, yeah, have what you call them. That's the other side of this, too, and not involve the Mysterios at all.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be smart. Because, we got to separate them.
Because they've already had that one interaction with Rhea and Beth.
And that would be a bang of a match. Fucking, again, with Edge and Beth against fucking Rhea and fucking Finn. Or you can even do fucking, what's his name against Finn if you're going to have Finn go against Ray.
Yeah, Damien and fucking Rhea.
Yeah. Because especially if you're going to have,
We're both taking Finn Balor in that one.
Yep.
Next up, we have Bianca Belair with Alexa Bliss and Asuka taking on Bayley with Damage Control in a women's ladder match for the title.
See, this is one of those things, again, this is one of those matches that shouldn't have been booked. There's no reason to book this. I mean, not for the titles, yes. And Damage Control, yes.
But let's get some props to WWE. The only titles right now that are on the line in this pay-per-view are both women's titles.
Yeah. We know that, and we always say card subject to change, but Roman ain't defending this belt.
No, Roman ain't doing it. It's not an arena event, so Roman's not doing it.
So who's it? Who's it? Well, yeah, is it?
It's Bayley and Bianca.
But is it? I thought isn't Lashley defending his title?
No. It hasn't been signed yet.
Interesting. I thought he was going to see. Did that match happen again on Monday, or was it going to be next Monday where he fights Rollins again? I know him and Rollins are going to go.
That's next. I think that's after Fight Pit.
Oh, yeah, it's after Fight Pit. Yeah, because we got Fight Pit. I forgot about that. Okay. So
I would not be mad if Bayley wins the title here.
But
for Bianca to overcome later down the road?
But is it just Bayley versus Bianca?
Yeah, Bayley versus Bianca in a ladder match.
Yeah.
But it's Alexa and Asuka in Bianca's corner, Dakota Kai and Io in Bayley's corner. But I think this is where we're going to start seeing the shenanigans of this guy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because if you saw the footage, the Fiend's face popped up over Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah.
In that backstage segment.
Yeah. I just hate that. If this is how Bianca loses the title, I'm really gonna hate that.
But I think it's gonna be a good. They're gonna put on a good match.
Oh no, it's gonna be a good match. So I would honestly just have Bianca and Bayley go at it once. They this is make sure that Bayley is good, back in full 100%, because she's barely been in any singles matches since coming back.
And the one that she was in, Aaliyah just botched the shit out of that match.
Yeah, yeah. So this is that. To me, this is going to be a test for Bayley to see if she can run with a Hill title. I think that they may end up. I don't think they'll pull the trigger at Extreme Rules. I think it'll be somewhere else, maybe at a Survivor Series. But I don't think it's going to be a Extreme Rules.
All right, I think Bayley should win. You pick a Bianca.
Yeah, pick a Bianca.
All right. Next up, two very large, muscular men beating each other with a strap. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross.
That sounds like a search in a Pornhub that you just did, sir. I don't know what's going on there.
It ties back to the S&M costume that Vince forced Karrion Kross to wear. So I have to give credit to Scarlett. She botched the fireball, but then she did not stop, and she hit with the low blow on Drew.
True. So Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross, when he was known as Killer Kross, have a professional beef, not like a legitimate one, but a professional beef that spans about 5 or 6 different organizations. Okay,
Impact, MLW, TZW,
NW, fucking A, fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever fuck you find, probably even Ring of Honor too. You can probably find some footage on that one. They have a beef that spans that long. They know each other very well.
Yes. And they're not gonna hold back.
Not at all. This is gonna be a great match, and this is the type of match that Karrion Kross needs to solidify himself as a threat. Again, this is backing themselves into a corner because The person that wins this match is going against Roman for the fucking title. I want to say at Survivor Series.
But okay, so if Drew McIntyre takes the loss, yes, it's 3 straight pay-per-views of him losing, but I do not think it hurts him.
It doesn't hurt him. Had somebody said not implicated the fact that this is going to be whoever wins is gonna get a title shot type situation. It wasn't expressed, but it was implied because they're the top 2 contenders for the title.
And also Scarlett doing the TikTok thing to Roman.
Yeah. So we know where this is going to go, one way or the other.
Triple threat probably for the Roman, Drew, and Karrion.
Yeah. So obviously, I think that these 2 men probably end up killing each other. You said it's last man standing?
No, strap.
Oh, strap match. I would prefer this match go to no contest and they just kill each other.
I agree with you there. I can see a no contest because it makes both look strong.
Yeah.
They both look like monsters.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see the backstage photos of their backs and bodies after this match.
Yep. And like if I had to pick a winner, because Triple H is definitely rebuilding Karrion Kross, you have to go with Karrion Kross in this one. Like if you have to pick a winner.
If you have to pick a winner, Karrion Kross is the safe bet.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, he can afford to lose.
Yes.
Because he's gonna, no matter what McIntyre does, he is going to look strong in defeat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I said they spent so much time rebuilding back Karrion Kross. If he loses, everything goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't do that at all. Under any circumstance.
Yeah, because he only had, I think, 1 official match on TV, and that's when he choked out Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
All right, So next up we have one of these wrestlers has been really proving herself as of late, including a nasty senton through a table of the chick that they tried to come back as a face, made a heartfelt story, Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Had a heartfelt story and then brought it back as a heel. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey in Extreme Rules for the SmackDown Championship.
Listen, they went from they went from sympathetic face to villain origin story in a matter of 2 weeks.
With
Lacey Evans.
With Lacey Evans.
Because the first promo was a sympathetic hero. Mm-hmm. You know, military, single mom, blah, blah. You could praise that shit.
Dad used to beat her, or you know what I'm saying?
And that, you know what? And remember I said, Sin, last time we did.
That's how they should book her. Then Vince is like, they still don't like you. You're a heel.
No, they were getting there. They were warming up. It's like that Vince gif where he's intrigued, and then he's surprised, and then he's like enamored, and then he's in shock, and then he dies, okay? We didn't even get to part 2 yet. We were intrigued, okay? And then he's like, you know what? Villain origin story, bitch. What the fuck?
Liv Morgan has been performing beyond expectation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love Liv Morgan. Very afraid that she's got to go clean against Ronda Rousey.
Well, it's an Extreme Rules match.
Who's that benefit?
Sonya Deville. That's who it benefits.
That's who it benefits. Oh, jeez. So yeah,
I see Liv keeping the title here, just because I think they're going to wait till a bigger stage to put it back on Rousey.
They may, but you remember with this Money in the Bank champions don't usually last that long.
She's already held the belt longer than a lot of them.
Yeah, that's because she didn't have to run to a buzzsaw named fucking Ronda Rousey the second time around.
Or Shoehorn Charlotte.
Or Shoehorn Charlotte Flair. So, with that being said, I want Liv Morgan to win, but if I had to put my money on somebody, given the history of Money in the Bank champions flip-flopping the belts, I'm going to give it to Ronda Rousey.
I'm going to give it to Liv, and she'll lose it in November or January.
I hope so. That's what I want to happen. I want no earlier than Survivor Series, if it was up to me. But
then Survivor Series, I hope they do a full traditional Survivor Series with War Games. Because remember, War Games coming to Survivor Series this year.
Well, no. I want Survivor Series War Games. I want that's what I want. I want elimination style. I want one man in at a time, but nobody can be eliminated until fucking all 8 men are in the ring.
do shit. Okay, and finally, what I think is going to be the match of the night. UFC and wrestling fan superstar Daniel Cormier is going to be reffing Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle in a fight pit match. A match that a guy who's won both of them isn't even in WWE no more. Timothy Thatcher was the most dominant man in the world in this match.
And listen, if I'm tripping, I'm trying to fight this man and give him another contract because dude was legit. Aside from that, this is how I look at it, okay? This was a failed opportunity by WWE to gain some of its really, really hardcore fan base back. Because you know what they really could have done? They could have gotten Ken Shamrock to referee because he did pitch that on Twitter.
But the thing is, Shamrock wanted to be the Lion's Den, not the fight pit.
But he said we wouldn't mind either way. Fuck it, throw the fight pit. Call Ken Shamrock. We'll make it work. But on top of that, you know what I would have done? I would have got Dan Severn in fucking Seth Rollins' corner, and I would have got Steve Blackman in fucking what's his name's corner, in Riddle's corner. Dude, you think about that for a second. You say there's a new WWE pay-per-view. Matt Riddle, who used to be an MMA fighter, against Seth Rollins, who's one of the most decorated champions in WWE history.
Who has a chip on his shoulder.
Who has a chip on his shoulder, stepping into a fucking cage with Cam Shamrock as the referee and the cornerman being Dan Severn and Steve Blackman. If you're an Attitude Era fan and you're like, I haven't watched wrestling, but fuck Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, and Steve Blackman, fuck, I'm in.
Obviously, I think this is going to be the match of the night.
It will. No doubt it's going to be the match of the night. Like I said, I would have booked the hell out of that, though. No, let's make this special. Throw some money at this shit, especially for a pay-per-view that doesn't have a title match, like a men's title match.
So what I'm wondering is, are they going to take off the ropes and put the fight pit around the ring? Because both other matches took place off-site.
I think that you would have to do it off-site. You'd have to do it off-site.
And well, I think it's main eventing, so they can take the ropes out of the ring.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. But the way Fight Pit's designed is weird, though. You know what, though, they could do? They could put it in a different place. They could set up a Fight Pit in a different place in the arena. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something.
Because at both of them, no fans were at the other two.
No, exactly. It's the way that it was set up, though, because remember, they set up the Fight Pit.
It's got the ledge and all that shit.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, at the Performance Center, right? So if people who've been to the Performance Center know, the Fight Pit was where the entrance was at. Once you come out the entrance to your right, there's all the announcers, Wade Barrett and the other guy that sit up high above everybody. And then, let me rephrase that. It's the pedestal that's right above where Wade Barrett and them were sitting. That's where they angled Fight Pit in like that, because where the cameras are, you had the hard camera on one side, and then you could just angle it around the other. So that's how they set up at the Performance Center that happened, because I remember when they did Fight Pit that time, all the other matches were at Full Sail still.
Yeah.
So with this one, you're going to have to do something crazy, because the Fight Pit is essentially what it is, a pit. So you have to find a way to make a caged pit that everybody can see inside of. You know what I'm saying? That's live, and that's tough to do. So if they do it, it may be like an inverted Hell in a Cell almost.
That's what I was thinking with the bottom ledge on top.
Yeah.
Because we know we're going to see a floating broom and a Phoenix Splash off the top of the Fight Pit. We know we're going to see this in this match.
Exactly. And you got
and more than likely a stop off the top of the Fight Pit.
Exactly. See, if this was Madison Square Garden, it'd be easy. You would put it where the normal WWE entrance was, right? Because that's on that one side. You could just set up everything because the ledge is right there, and you just fold everything down. You could do it, but I forget where it's at this time. I think it's Connecticut. I don't know.
We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is the first time they're going to see a Fight Pit live.
So who do you got, Seth or Matt Riddle? Riddle has been on the losing end of this entire feud.
Yes, and also has the biggest L in the Fight Pit to date.
When Timothy Thatcher
Timothy Thatcher made him tap his ass out in the pit.
Thatcher knocked out Ciampa, but he made Matt Riddle tap.
Yep. So nobody's coming out of this the same.
No. But is this where we get the other shenanigans?
You could, but the problem is now we have Randy Orton, that's the other bad news. We didn't get,
and we don't know if he's going to ever be able to return the wrestling.
Return, and that's kind of where it has to start. But if it's to be believed, then has been reborn and is not worried about any of that stuff that happened in the past. So you have to think then at that point, I would probably avoid the whole Bray Wyatt shit. And then you got to have Riddle win. If it was me, I'm booking Riddle to win. He's already on one in the fight pit, okay?
It does not hurt Rollins.
It doesn't hurt Rollins at all. Because Rollins went in on him. You have to have some sort of comeuppance. Because the whole story is that Riddle's too much of a hothead to beat Seth Rollins in an actual sanctioned wrestling match, which is the whole reason why this fight pit thing is happening. Okay? If the guy that used to be in MMA loses a fight pit to a professional wrestler, then we fucked everything up. We need to turn back at that point, and we need to say fuck. At some point, Riddle was supposed to be the man. Mm-hmm. Supposed to come after Roman Reigns. I thought that was going to be the whole thing, and that didn't happen. But
the Randy Orton injury put a lot on, dialed back Riddle a lot.
And it shouldn't have, because that should have been the catalyst of Riddle's.
Then we got one match between Roman and Riddle.
Yeah, it would have. How many times has an injury to a tag team partner skyrocketed that of the tag team partner to great heights?
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally the playbook. Because shit, WWE hates tag teams. Okay, let's keep it 100. They hate them. They fucking hate them.
Vince hated tag teams.
Vince hated tag teams. Okay, but even we were still in the Vince era when Vince botched that shit up when Randy Orton got hurt. Well, we got a comment. Who's commenting?
Steve said Baby Metal shows up on October 10th. The other one project 96% complete, which means in 4 days Baby Metal takes over the world.
Let's fucking go. That's the shit I like to hear.
And Steve, it's very good to see you, our friend.
Yes, trust me. We'll be back in the saddle starting Sunday.
We are recording the shit out of shit on Saturday.
Yes, we are. So don't even stress it. All right.
So I'm taking Seth Rollins here. I think Riddle needs a reset, and it might be the injury reset for Riddle.
If he loses this match, I don't know, man. I can't. I think that he needs to win and come out of this match a different person. I think what you're trying to achieve needs to happen, but it needs to happen with a Riddle win.
So he needs to get rid of that. Does he go back to Team Catch Riddle? The heel Riddle?
Yes. He has to. Or even just not even necessarily have to turn heel, but just be just a brutal son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you like almost like you're fighting Tyson. Like, he needs to come out of this. No more bros. No more fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
flying doves out of his flip-flops.
Exactly. No, we can't have that. We need a killer at this point. And this is the moment that you do it. Like, dead ass honest. This is the moment where Matt Riddle turns into Ken Shamrock. I don't give a fuck. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what this is. So I'm going for Riddle, and I'm going for Riddle becoming a changed man after this.
I'm going for Seth, just because he's Seth freaking Rollins.
All right. Well, we did.
And so from what Fightful Select said about the White Rabbit stuff, is going to reveal it, but that person will probably not be there.
Okay. Well,
so more than likely, if it is Bray, which is going to be the ultimate swerve if it's not,
yeah,
I think we see the Firefly Funhouse reopen.
It's Joe Gacy. That's what it is. It's Joe Gacy is the new Fiend.
That would be the best swerve, though. Have Gacy come out as it, and then like a month down the road, Survivor Series, Gacy's out there doing the shit, and then Bray Wyatt just shows up behind Gacy.
Dude, if they would have booked that a long time ago, this would have been a lot easier to deal with. Listen, I'm all for Bray Wyatt against Joe Gacy as the Fiend. If Joe Gacy's the Fiend, I'm here for that. If just imagine Bray Wyatt thinks he has everything back, and then you see Bray Wyatt on one side of the ring and the Fiend on the other side of the ring, and it's not magic tricks, it's not CGI, it's none of that shit. Maybe fucking Joe Gacy at this point. You know, I'm just saying they want to book Joe Gacy as the next Fiend so bad. He said that's too good. So if they did that, they would somehow mess it up. Yep, pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
But this is the first time in about 5 years I'm excited for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Because there's only been one Extreme Rules match in the last 5 years out of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
The only time, the one time I ever marked out for Extreme Rules was, I think, when John Cena tried to kill Umaga with the chain and wrapped him in the FU, I mean the STFU. Yeah, so those were good times. All right, so we've covered all of our bases. I hope everybody checks out the pay-per-view. Let us know what you think. Look at our predictions. See if we were right. See if we were wrong. See if we were bullshitting. Who knows? Okay, but Big Sim,
yes,
you know what to do.
What we need you to do right now is go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, you ring that bell so you know More Sinful Black is about the business. More stuff coming soon. We got the gameplays back. We got everything going. Reactions back on Sunday, bitches.
And we need you. That's all we need. We need
join us.
That's right. So until next time, that's my man Big. Well, no, that's my man Big Sam. I'm your boy Hollywood J Black. This just happens to be the Industry Outsiders, and we are out this thing. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. Much love is much appreciated. Deuces.